very happy that you walked out here listening to what's been going on. So you get a lot of credit for that.
Reeds gave me the day off.
No, yes, thank you. Well, I wouldn't have done that if I'd known. Alex is the one that produced the open for me. He wanted me to have my Johnny Carson moment to come out on stage with that music playing, so that meant a lot to me. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I'm sorry about what's going to happen for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Well, first of all, it's great that you finally took one of those titles away from Taylor. And
I wore the ring so he wouldn't forget it.
Oh!
You want some aloe with that burn?
Yeah. He's not laughing now, is he? No respect, I think. You know, Michael, I think this is always just going to pretty much be a roast. I think it is.
But it's fun.
Yeah, it is. For you, winning Tupelo, the obvious standard question, because we haven't had a chance to talk to you since you had that moment and sang your song. What did that mean?
Oh, it meant the world. That's, to me, I've been competing in contests and stuff for the past 6 years, and Tupelo, my first time was 2019, and so this is my second time, but to me, that's the most prestigious Elvis contest out there, and festival.
Yeah.
So to represent Tupelo in the ultimate, and plus they have a pretty good track record too, so that can't...
They do. I think the winners of the 12 ultimates, if my math is amazing. 13 ultimates, 7.
I keep forgetting the last one, I don't know why.
Why do I always get roasted? What did I do? It's good. You stay around so I don't get roasted. You're good. You're good. You're good. What is that?
We'll do our show.
Tom Brown show, right?
Yeah, I agree. No, from the minute I walked out, it wasn't anymore. It's listed. It's listed as that. For you, like we said, the Tupelo Festival, that trophy is, I mean, there's something about that town. When you came to Tupelo in 19, did you get to visit the town any, or were you focused on the festival? Because sometimes I look at you guys' schedules and I'm like, they don't even have time to go do anything at Tupelo.
Actually, the only time I got to actually visit the town of Tupelo, the first time was the press tour they took us on.
Yeah.
And that's a great tour because they take us to the birthplace, the hardware store, and Johnny's Drive-In, plus Tex.
Yep.
So it's just a great town. You go there, you see all the Elvis murals, and you're just so absorbed into this history, this rich history they have in that town, and I love it. I'd move there if it wasn't for the tornadoes.
You know, Tom,
That was scary, like twice.
it's like we told, it's so cool on this stage right now. You've got 3 Tupelo champions. I got runner-up and it changed my life. And you got the fan favorite right there.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Family. Yeah.
And Cully was under the impression he got to keep that money, but he goes to St. Jude, Cully. I'm sorry.
He has a metal tumbler as a keepsake.
That's true, yeah. No,
And he gets all these cups when we're done.
he gets to clean them. Uh-oh. Pass it down, but he's going to make sure he gets it back. Maybe don't pass it down at all. So, new to sitting up here and doing this, and some of us seeing you for maybe some first-time people who see you this weekend.
Who's seen me for the first time? All right.
Woo!
We're glad you're here.
You're gonna love it.
How did you discover Elvis? Everybody has different stories, and there's a sameness to all of them too about this guy that they saw. What about for you?
Well, I was raised by my grandparents, so I grew up in a house where it was older music, and Elvis was just a thing. I remember as a kid watching the Aloha concert. That was my first exposure to Elvis on a VHS, which I don't know if Cody knows what a VHS is.
I do, because I watched the same concert on the VHS.
That was before my time.
But yeah, just growing up with my grandparents, listening to Elvis, and I think I was in 5th grade. They took me to a Legends in Concert show in Myrtle Beach, where I live, and I saw Ryan Pelton do Elvis, and that's when I was like, wait, this is a thing. Like, you can do this for a living. But that was it. I got the bug, and it was great.
Did your friends understand?
No. No, not at all. But they do now. I talk to them from high school, and they're like, "Oh, you're really doing this, and this is like your career." I went to a fine arts high school, and I can count out of the 4 years I was there, 2 people, including me, are actually performing for a living. So it's just what I wanted to do since I was a kid, and here I am, thanks to you guys.
So you knew you wanted to be a performer of some kind, right? And the entree for you was Elvis and being able to do this.
Yeah, well, I talked to you backstage. I wanted to do TV, and I've done TV. I wanted to do radio. They won't hire me at Tom's station. I tried.
I don't want to. You never hire anybody better than you.
But no, this is where I ended up, and I'm thankful for it every day because it's not a job to me. I have so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
I can't call it work. So.
That's the thing, because everybody gets nervous, and if you weren't nervous, but all of you guys, when you hit the stage, it's kind of like you're home again. And this is, and boy, this is different than doing performances on Zoom. To be able,
I have to wear pants.
I said that on stage. I said it was nice not having to dress from the waist down.
Thanks for your PayPal tips, by the way.
But that meant a lot to a lot of you guys, to be able to...
Tom, it not only meant a lot emotionally, but man, you guys, I mean, we were so reluctant to do it.
We were.
We were like, man, we were joking. He and I were joking about it. Well, we got to make about $20 to go Taco Bell. We were laughing. And it started happening. And then I started getting emails. We were crying. Crying, calling each other. And I'm getting emails. God, you have no idea what this means to me. I'm so lonesome. I'm just trapped in my house. So we did another one. Dean Z, I'm going to tell a story real quick. Dean Z calls me up after our first one. This Dean Z, I'm not going to bother Dean. Go, hey, what do you need? You know, because I know he'd do it. That's the way Dean is. Hey, Dean, will you? Yeah. Hey, Dean, will you? Yeah. And he goes, hey, Coach, you're not mad at me or anything, are you? I said, franchise, first of all, I'm not sure it's possible to get mad at you, but why would you think that? And I realized he goes, well, I would have loved to have been a part of that and just be with you guys. I want to be with the guys. And I started choking up. I said, well, Dean, let me just say, you can do anything you want to anytime that I'm involved in anything. And then we did another one. People kept calling us, please don't stop, please don't stop. And we finally just decided with the Branson trip let's just shut it down. She's pumping mud, you know, and let's kind of be thankful for what we got. But thank all of you so much. You have no idea what it did for us. Not only helping us in our pocketbooks, but emotionally it meant just more than y'all ever know.
And I think it meant that for them too. Right? Yeah.
It kept us connected.
Oh, it's crazy.
And I just real quick, talking about that Branson trip, how emotional that was, because we had been separated for almost 8 months.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I saw Lou, and we lost it. Everybody lost it. Everybody lost it. So, again, thank you guys.
So we sit there and watch cartoon Batman movies.
Yes, we did.
Because we're 12.
Marvel movies.
So, Alex,
I'm being very polite
So
right
Superman's flying around one day.
yeah.
Turn this way.
Yeah, let's, back to you. Talk to me. I think something that the audience might not realize about contests is and Jeff and I were actually talking about this. Any day, anybody can do anything. Any baseball team can win. Any great team can beat a bad team. Any bad team can beat a great team. It's all just that day. How important is it for what you guys do, of what you wear on stage, what songs you select, how you, when you do 2 back-to-back, how you decide on what those 2 are going to be, what era are you going to try to do? Do you focus on one? Talk to me a little bit about the science of selection, of how you figure that out.
Well, when I first started this, I would go into a contest and do songs that I thought you do in the contest, like Hurt and all this. And somebody told me a long time ago, if you're good at something, just do it. If you sound the most like Elvis in a song, do that song. It doesn't matter if it's Queenie when he's papaya. You know, you sound. I wouldn't do that, just by the way. But
Not again, anyway.
I think it's you know, for me, I'm a bigger guy in general. So I'm not going to go out there in a macrame collar suit or a concho suit. I'm going to wear a suit that fits the era of Elvis that I represent. And you made a good point during Tupelo. Ballad first, mover second. You don't want to be out of breath trying to sing My Way or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just think that there's definitely a science to it. You can set yourself up, like my song choices for Tupelo. So we have a list for each day. So it's very important that you know, if you're doing multiple eras, you need to make sure that you pick one era of songs for that day, so you don't end up with a 70s song and a 60s song. That happened to you, and yeah, that was terrifying. But no, it's.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. And also, Elvis, I watched this in Tupelo, I'm not calling anybody out, but Elvis was friends with his band. He interacted with them on stage, and I see a lot of guys go out there, and I don't know if they're used to using tracks or what, the band's not there for them. And so having that connection on stage, stuff like that, to recreate as much of Elvis as you can, I think is very important.
Yeah, I saw that. And it's that connection. There's a lot of guys that, two people agree with me.
Thank you. Checks in the mail.
There might have been more, but I cut them off. The thing about performing with a live band, there's a lot of people who have performed with tracks. And I've seen guys, waiting on the band to cut the note off, because on a track, the track stops, the song stops, and the band is waiting on the performer. I'm telling you, it's harder to be a track singer than it ever is to sing with a live band, because you've got a metronome in your mind of, I got 2 more measures before I got to cut this song off. Or the 2001 CC Rider intro, you're counting down measures because you know where the song's
When the horns stop, you've got 2 measures, and then you come in, You just have to know that.
You can't play. You can't have fun. It's much more constrained with a track of a performance than with a live band. But what's it like when you're on stage and you're in the moment and it's all clicking?
Oh, it's just it clicks. Everything just comes together perfectly. There's just this feeling you get. You have this connection with the band, with you guys, and it's just, you can't buy that feeling. You can't buy it.
And they feel it too. And I talk about the people who were lucky enough to see Elvis in concert. Maybe for a moment, a second, during one of your guys' performances, they're like, ooh, they got that feeling.
That's the highest compliment that you can get, I feel, as a tribute artist. To be like, I saw Elvis here and you reminded me of him, or even somebody that didn't see him, to just say you reminded.
And that's the other, for the people that didn't get that opportunity to see you guys perform and to have that, that's what that was like.
And Tom, you know how cosplay is so big, right? These Comic Cons. Well, let's don't kid anybody. Say we get 2 songs, that's about 6 minutes. We get to pretend to be Elvis for 6 minutes. And that's just the coolest. Now I pretend to be John Goodman. But back in the day when I won Pot of Water.
Is he done? Is that it?
So back when I was a child in Norman, Oklahoma,
It's why Johnny never let Ed have the money.
yes, sir.
Note for self. What do you have planned? Because you know now. First, this question. Would you rather win a qualifier months and months and months and months away from the ultimate? Or you won in June and the ultimate's in August?
I would rather it this way.
Yeah.
I feel like you have this like steam behind you. I don't know about you guys that have done Tupelo and have qualified, but you're so close to it. You don't have a chance to kind of like relax, which I think is good. You're always on your game.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking forward to boot camp.
I was going to say, when's your boot camp? And tell them about Tupelo boot camp. Some of you guys have been to boot camp.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, Craig is on vacation, so I can't bother him and get the dates right now. But they need a vacation. They work hard. I think it's going to be right before the Ultimate, actually. So I'll go to Tupelo and then go to Memphis. But I know they're going to work with makeup, hair, vocal coach, picking my costumes out to make sure I wear the best that I have and all that. So and that's why they have a good track record. This is the only contest out there that puts all they have behind you to make you look the best you can be. And that's the difference where Tupelo has one contest and other companies have several. They can't do that.
yeah,
So that's why I'm really excited to represent Tupelo.
that's very cool. And you've got So have you already started mentally preparing for the ultimate and what you'll strategically choose? You don't have to tell us what you're choosing, but have you already started thinking about seeing who your competition is and kind of saying, you know, I think they'll probably do this,
Right.
so I'm going to come in with that. I mean, have you started strategically thinking?
Oh yeah, well they haven't, the contestant list is not finalized yet, so right now I'm worried about like 4 guys. So as it comes, you know, closer to the event, I'm sure we'll get that out, but definitely, yeah.
Well, we're all behind you, all of us
Thank
here. You carry the hopes and dreams and wishes and lives of the people of Tupelo, Mississippi on your shoulder. No great pressure. Jesus!
I was feeling really good about it.
And Tom, there's 2 contestants, both Alex and Cote, will be in the ultimate that represent Tupelo as well.
Yeah.
I think Jeff just broke Cody's NDA.
I think. The ultimate assistant
To
Alex at the ultimate.
At the ultimate.
This is what happens when you talk too much.
Take the mic away from Ed.
Alex, we love you. Welcome to the world. And what I tell you, once you're in Tupelo, you're family. And we family can look you in the eyes, but everybody else you can't look them in the eyes. No. We're kidding. Alex Mitchell, great